about 2.5 years ago, my sister-in-law sent me a text message that said, "You need these in your life." So I thought, well, I better buy them and try them out. Juliana can show you a closer picture of the package. The sea salted caramel chips. So today we're going to make sea salt caramel chip chocolate cookies. It's a bit of a mouthful, but that's okay. So we've got 1 cup of margarine. You could use butter as well. I just have my margarine softened up to room temperature. I have 1 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. And we're going to cream these together, and I'll just mix that in a minute and show you what that looks like. Alright, I just had to scrape the bottom of my bowl because I had some margarine up on the tops of the sides. So we've got our butter and sugar mixing here, and we're going to add in 4 eggs. Just going to add it in while the mixer is mixing. And we also have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Just want to mix those together well. So I've altered the recipe is on the back of the package, but I've altered it a little bit. I cut back the sugar a little bit and I made a couple little changes. And we're also going to add in 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Don't put the mixer on too high right away, because otherwise your cocoa powder is just going to go flying everywhere. Juliana can come show you this. It's just starting to come together. I just want to mix this for a minute, and then we're going to add in our sea salt caramel chips. The original recipe actually calls for 1 package for, this is actually, I'm doing double recipes, so it actually would call for 2 packages. But these are not very cheap, these chocolate chips or these salted caramel chips. It's about $3 on sale for a bag. So I'm only going to put in 1 bag, which I measured, and it's about 1 3/4 cup for a bag. If you want to put in more, fine, but I do find the 1 3/4 cup is okay. I did write on the recipe 2 cups. I thought there might be 2 cups in my in the bag, but it's not quite 2 cups. If you're feeling you're getting a little bit gypped off with the chips in there, you can always add some extra chocolate chips if you like, or just add more of the sea salted caramel chips. It just gets a bit more expensive to put 2 packages in. I'm also going to add in 3 cups of flour, and we're just going to get this all combined. So just remember, with cookies, you want to make sure the sides of your pan come clean. This is a bit of a softer dough, because you want this in the end, you want these to be nice chewy cookies. You want them actually a little bit underbaked, because you want them to be a very brownie-like taste and texture. So I'm just going to mix this up together. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. I don't know if my pan will get quite clean on the sides because it is a bit of a softer dough. But I just want to make sure it's well mixed so that there's no flour at the very bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to clean up my counter here, and then we're going to make our balls. Alright, so I'm using my cookie scoop. This is my 1 5/8 inch cookie scoop in diameter. It's the perfect size for cookies. So I'm going to scoop out my cookies, and a lot of recipes, they don't tell you whether or not to flatten your cookies, but I do like to flatten my cookies a little bit. I find they bake more even that way than trying to make the oven flatten them. So I'm just going to flatten my cookies a little bit, and then I'm going to bake these 350 degrees for about 9 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't want to over bake them, because you do want them to be a bit of a chewy consistency, almost like a brownie on the inside. So we're going to just bake these up, and we'll take a look at them when they're done. Alright, we are at the 9-minute mark, and the cookies, they're pretty good. They're a little bit puffy. I think I'm going to take them out, and I actually want them to fall a little bit, because I do want them to flatten and be nice and chewy on the inside. So 9 minutes is what it took in my oven. Every oven's going to be slightly different. So they are baked. They're just slightly underbaked, and they're going to flatten a little bit here. They're going to be nice and chewy on the inside. All right, so I've let my cookies cool for about 5 minutes or so on the cookie sheet before I put them on my cooling rack. Just because we've slightly underbaked them, you want them to firm up a little bit before you put them on the rack. Otherwise, they're just gonna fall through the cracks in your rack. And I'll just break one open here. You can just see it's a nice chewy cookie, delicious. They are firm enough, so that's good. So you want to make sure they're just about 9 minutes is about perfect. And so this recipe is about double from what the package originally had said, because if I'm going to make cookies, I might as well make 4 dozen cookies at a time. I'm not going to just do 2 dozen at a time. This way you can give some away if you like, or just freeze them. They're great in the freezer. So give these ones a try. Sea salted caramel chips, and there's the recipe.